We start today at noon with breaking news here on 13 News. Governor Mike Braun now is authorizing the deployment of 300 Indiana National Guardsmen to the nation's capital. This is happening next month, and this is to help to increase safety. It comes at the request at the District of Columbia National Guard. Now, most of the soldiers headed to D.C. will come from units that are right now in Bloomington and Gary, Indiana. In preparation for the mission, the soldiers will head to Camp Atterbury in Edinburgh. The Guard says the mission is expected to last no longer than 4 months. Also this afternoon, Metro Police tell 13 News they now are investigating a deadly crash that occurred on the east side around 4:30 this morning. It happened at the intersection of East 25th Street and North Sherman Drive. That's where officers say they found this car crashed into a pole. There were 2 men inside. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger went to the hospital in critical but stable condition. Police tell us they believe the car was going north on Sherman when it crossed into the southbound lanes and then lost control and crashed into those 2 poles. Indiana State Police now leading an investigation in Clinton County after 2 Kirkland Town marshals, a suspect and another adult, all were shot last night. It all stems from a traffic stop around 8:45 near Michigan Town, northeast of Frankfort. The town marshals were assisting a Clinton County deputy at the time. Now, we're told during that stop, 4 adults and 1 child who were inside the suspect's car were outside of the vehicle when the passenger then fired a gun toward officers. We're told officers fired back, hitting the suspect and 1 of the other passengers. They, along with 1 town marshal, went to the hospital. Right now, the officer is considered stable. The other officer shot was not injured. State police say the bullet hit their bulletproof vest, so that's some good news there. The suspect right now is in police custody and at the hospital. We will continue to follow both of these investigations and bring you the latest news as it comes into us, not only on this newscast, but on all WTHR platforms. Another kind of cold, dreary day out there. Turning to our forecast with meteorologist Sean Ash. Yesterday ended up being a pretty wet day, didn't it?
Yeah, wettest we've had since the 4th of April.
Wow.
Not only that, we don't often get severe thunderstorm warnings with temperatures in the 40 to 45 degree range. And that's exactly what we had yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. In November, it's weird to have all these lightning strikes you were showing too.
It was kind of a weird setup here. We're now, that's 1 system's away. This cloud cover that we are in, this stuff's going to hang tough.
So, it is so dreary.
But when it moves out, it may come at a good time here. I'll have more on the 7-day. Let me show you the vantage point with our camera network. Oh yes, gray indeed. We've got low cloud bases. In fact, the Indy skyline is in that cloud deck right now. This is all moisture that's trapped near the surface. So what you see is what you get for today, tonight, Thursday, and Friday. So because we've got limited sunshine, temperatures aren't going to budge much at all. We're going to be locked into the lower and mid 40s, and visibility in some areas down to a mile. It was a little lower earlier this morning. Not much of a temperature spread. You see 39 there in Richmond. Now you get into northeastern Indiana, a little bit drier air trying, but the cloud cover we believe wins out today. 45 Terre Haute, 42 jacket weather for sure here at Indy, and you can see that cloud deck is just not going to budge here. So in fact, I would argue that the satellite perspective tomorrow may look very similar. Here's what's ahead. So fog, mist, low clouds the next 48 hours. Some weekend sunshine. There you go. Timing out nicely and perhaps much colder for Thanksgiving. We'll talk about everything coming up in the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. In the courtroom now to a story that has been in local and national headlines. The decision to charge a homeowner with voluntary manslaughter after he allegedly shot a cleaning crew worker who showed up at the wrong house. We have video from the scene that dates back to November 5th. According to the court documents, Kurt Anderson is the person who was inside the house, and he told police he thought that someone was breaking into his home. He says he panicked and he shot through the door. Since the announcement on Monday that charges would be filed in the case, we have heard a lot of questions about the decision to charge Anderson with voluntary manslaughter. To learn more, we spoke to IU law professor Jody Madera for context.
Charging recklessness would be undercharging. Charging first-degree murder would be overcharging. And so likely the jury will see this as a fear-driven overreaction and not calculated malice. And so voluntary manslaughter is a really good charge.
Anderson is being held without bond right now. His first court appearance is set for this Friday. More growing frustration at an apartment complex on the northeast side of Indianapolis. We have heard from a number of residents who are living at Lake Castleton. They are now demanding action after repeated health citations there. Alex Almonda explains why Indiana's top attorney now is stepping in.
Doors not working properly, hinges torn off. This refrigerator is in the middle of a hallway. This is just the tip of the iceberg for many residents here at Lake Castleton, with the Indiana Attorney General now weighing in, saying that hundreds of health citations were dismissed, putting many residents' health at risk. When it comes to celebrating successes, Sarah Pitzer has a lot to cheer about.
This was my new start. Very excited to be here.
The soon-to-be mom found out this week that chemotherapy treatment for her cancer is now done. But this moment had to come full circle because in March of last year, things were looking up.
I came and I looked at the property and it was beautiful at the time. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Until they weren't.
Just trying to get as far away from this place as possible, somewhere safe I can bring my baby home and just start fresh.
Pitzer, along with many other residents in this complex, are now part of a legal battle after Attorney General Todd Rokita filed a civil lawsuit against the owners and property managers of Lake Castleton. Pitzer says she went months without AC, had electrical issues, all of which have now been fixed. But still, things remain, such as this newly discovered moldy air vent in her bedroom.
Nobody deserves to live this way, whether they have great health or they're in bad health. It's just not fair.
A 50-page lawsuit details complaints ranging from mold, collapsed ceilings, and even rodent infestations.
This is serious. Like, we're paying to stay here, and we're paying for a service that you are not providing.
Sierra Harvey has lived at this complex for nearly 2 years. She says when her water heater broke, she had to wait 3 months for repairs, but mold eventually took over part of her wall. Harvey says she then wrote a bad review online and went to the office to ask about rent back pay. Their response?
In order for us to give you this concession, you have to sign this paper saying that you will no longer leave any reviews and take down any negative reviews.
Harvey never signed the form and her review is still online.
Alex Almanza reporting for us this noon. The battle over Indiana's 9 congressional districts comes down now to a 29-19 vote. For now, the state Senate approving a measure saying it will not reconvene until January 5th. And that complicates the push to redraw our state's congressional map because of the January deadline for candidates who would like to run for office to file. Indiana lawmakers gathered yesterday to outline priorities for the upcoming legislative session. The issue on everyone's mind, redistricting. This is a debate that is dividing Indiana's Republican supermajorities. The Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray says there's a better way to gain ground in the 2026 midterms.
We would rather take a look at Congressional District 1. It is a district that's been trending red over the last several years. And in fact, we have a senator now in Lake County that there may have been one other Republican senator there in the last 100 years, and now we have that, the Republicans hold that seat. So evidence that it's really trending red. And if we had a candidate that we could all get behind and be supportive of, we think that we could turn that seat.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun says he is exploring all options to compel the vote. House Speaker Todd Houston says his members are ready to do just that. Speaker Houston told House members to keep the first 2 weeks of December open. House Democrats say they're cautiously optimistic that there is no path forward for redistricting. We do have a one-on-one interview with the governor with Dustin Grove, and our coverage will continue ahead today at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. Also today, there is a push to help feed Hoosiers in need over the holiday season, and those efforts just getting a big boost from the Colts. Stars like Josh Downs and Tyler Warren teaming up with FedEx to volunteer at Gleaner's Food Bank, packing up the food to help those in need.
Doing it with other people that are like-minded and kind of just having like a new family, you know, if you would, or a team out here that you just kind of, you don't know them, but you start working together and you're doing, you know, a thing like this is awesome, and it's fun to just be in that atmosphere and do something good for the community.
The meals will go to the Gleaner's Pantry as well as other partners in the Feeding America network. The Indianapolis Office of Public Health and Safety is also hosting a food giveaway. That's on the Far East Side, and it's today. Families can stop by the event. It's near 38th and Post, behind the Far East Side Neighborhood Center. The next that will be tomorrow, and that will be with Indy Peace. There are several other distribution events as well, all leading up to Thanksgiving next week. We have put the full list of names and times and locations for you on our website at WTHR.com.